I'm Tracy Cardwell from LPCiminelli and the host of the Buffalo Public Schools renovation program, Making It Happen. The Making It Happen show is a monthly news show that brings you information about the individual renovations going on in all of the Buffalo Public Schools, along with information about opportunities for minority and women business enterprises and opportunities for our Buffalo Public School students. The Making It Happen show is produced by LPCiminelli, and LPCiminelli is the program manager for the renovation program. Can you hear that great music in the background? If you can hear it and you see my surroundings, then you know we're in LaSalle Park and we are at the 10th annual Buffalo Funk Fest. We are having such a great time. It's just starting out, but I'm gonna tell you, we're turning this park out. Right now is my girl Juanita Simmons. She's singing right now with Evolution. We are gonna get it in today, and I am so happy because LPCiminelli is the major sponsor of this great community event. So we're going to bring you highlights from today's event, but first we're going to head over to Buffalo Public School number 61, where we held our third community forum for Central Park Plaza and the Fillmore Leroy area. And to this day we were able to unveil our plans, our design plans for the neighborhood, and also unveil the new name. So I can't wait for you to see that. I'm so glad you tuned in. We got a great show in store. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
What you're going to see tonight is a result of probably over a year's worth of planning efforts, meetings that we've had with various stakeholders in the neighborhood, community groups, government groups, public, private stakeholders, block club leaders, and it's really been a great process and very rewarding for us to see all of the input that we've gotten from the various groups. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ben and let him, the first slide is his.
There are four things I want to emphasize that are making now a time of opportunity for this neighborhood like we haven't seen in decades. And they are, what has been perceived as some of the weaknesses, but they're now a strength, and we'll be presenting why that is. And first of all, we have a number of vacant parcels and underused homes that need restoration, that need families living in them. There are a number of those sites. All the sites outlined in red here, which is more than our share in this neighborhood, are vacant. But now is an important opportunity. There are new housing markets coming online that are expressing new interest. So we can create additional homes and better homes in the neighborhood for youth, for children and generations to come back to the neighborhood, and for more people as we move forward. This is especially important to the whole city and region because there are many jobs in this quarter. We'll come back to that later. But there are essentially 2 jobs for every housing unit between downtown and the University of Buffalo South Campus, and a growing number of jobs. And that makes this an especially important place as a neighborhood to live in now and in the future. We have the former Central Park Plaza site. John will share more about what's been happening on that site. That is a very important opportunity to introduce new homes and streets that knit our neighborhood back together and offer new housing options. And finally, it's an opportunity to reinforce Main Street and Fillmore as places with retail and services that can gratify throughout this process by the great turnout we've been getting. We at Goody Clancy have done planning in neighborhoods across the country. I think we've made at block club level, churches, and other means to make this a great place. And we'll talk more about how we hope we put your goals.
What did we hear? What did you tell us? We listened to what you had to say, and what we've done here is identified what we have agreed amongst all of us are the goals and objectives of this redevelopment process. We heard you say that you want a safe and supportive community, a place where your kids can grow up and that your children can come back to. That's one of the things that we want to create here. We want to create mixed income housing, workforce housing, and economic diversity bring that back to this neighborhood. We want to create new job opportunities in the neighborhood for the people in this neighborhood. If we are successful, when we are successful, and redeveloping this property and bringing the households back here that will support the businesses in this neighborhood, it will create job opportunities for the people that live in this neighborhood. Research and history has shown us about this neighborhood in particular is that this is part of an overall neighborhood and community that once had a different identity. And we think that identity has been lost and even transferred to other areas. And one of the things that we want to do is to identify not only our development within the former Central Park Plaza, but also try to, if the public embraces this, is to rebrand this neighborhood back to what it once was. And we have a slide that shows that. I don't know if you are aware of this, but back at the turn of the century, this area was once called Highland Park. And Highland Park really is representative of the area that we are studying now, basically the Fillmore, Leroy area. Now, there is a Central Park neighborhood. However, that Central Park neighborhood is on the other side of Amherst in Maine, where you see Beard and Morris and the streets up in this area. That is the Central Park neighborhood. This is the Parkside neighborhood, and really the only identity that the Fillmore Leroy neighborhood had with Central Park was the Central Park Plaza. And with the Central Park Plaza being redeveloped, we are embracing the history and bringing back Highland Park, and we are hoping that this will resonate throughout the neighborhood and give this neighborhood back an identity that belongs here and resides here in Highland Park. It means a new era of opportunity for Fillmore, Leroy, and Highland Park. This is a graphic illustration of what we see going on in Highland Park. When I say Highland Park, I mean the former 27 acres of the Central Park Plaza. This is just a shot, one of the early renderings that we did of Chalmers. You can see the parkway that we have down the middle of Chalmers and just the pedestrian access. And you'll see as you view more of the slides, the streetscapes, the walkable access in the community. There isn't a driveway every 30 feet. There's no curb cuts. Everything is accessed from the rear of the buildings. This brings the buildings out to the street. The eyes on the street brings the porches out to the street, interacting with the sidewalks and just the pedestrian access, both interactive with and around the buildings. We incorporated a main street here that will act as our main access point and a parkway. We have a nice wide grass median down the middle, which terminates at Hill Street. We brought Hill Street through the development, created a traffic circle here, and we're also bringing Wade Avenue. Wade Avenue will now run from Fillmore all the way through to Manhattan. So that becomes a very important east-west corridor, not only for vehicle traffic, but also pedestrian traffic. And there's also an easement down through, there's a small area of property here that will allow for pedestrian access through here, out through this, and out to this street that will allow hopefully access all the way through this area, which is a big area of opportunity for public space and also the retail that should reside out on Fillmore and on Main Street, and there's existing retail out here now.
We'll take a quick walk through some of the parts, some of these different streets to give you a feel of what this may look like. And these are concept model views, which are not the final drawings, but they're ones that our team has been developing to start to give a sense of the scale, materials, landscaping that you might expect to see. And so this view here would be looking down Chalmers. Today, Chalmers ends at Holden, which is right here. And in front of us today is a vacant lot, the former shopping center. Chalmers would then continue as a boulevard with a green median and trees and 4-story buildings on each side. One of these might be specifically geared towards seniors. One of them might be specifically geared toward younger households or a mix of different household types. And it will be important in any of these buildings that while there will be a lobby and an elevator to get to the upstairs units, that the other ground floor units each have individual front doors and porches along the way. And that makes a larger building like this really come down to scale and give a sense of individuality and personality as you walk along it on the street.
We are committed to the long-term ownership and management of this property and the upkeep of this property. We know one of the concerns is with rental properties, absentee landlords, and properties that fall into decline because of poor management and bad landlords. We are not going to invest the money that we're talking about investing in here and let this area decline. It's not going to happen. So, as you can see, there's been news articles about it. This guy up here talking to the community block club leaders. So, it's something that we're very, very vested in here and going to see through to its success. So what does that mean? What this gives us the opportunity for is the Fillmore Leroy neighborhood. Now it matters. And it matters to residents who gain value and options, to youth who gain places to grow, to newcomers seeking homes and jobs, to extended families coming back into the neighborhoods, the landlords who rediscover enduring value, and to establish a neighborhood that matters once again.
Did you guys enjoy the presentation? Yes. Was it very informative? I don't know about you guys, but we're really excited. We are so excited about the great opportunities that exist in our neighborhood. And we're excited that you're here and you're all going to be a part of it.
Crystal Peoples Stokes, the Assembly Member for the 141st District. And as a person who has represented this area for a while, this is very refreshing. And it's time for this to happen. How are the phases going to be broke out? What's the exclusion of the infrastructure work that needs to happen? What are the phases that Ciminelli will actually engage in, and what pieces are included in those?
Basically, the first phase comes across and down through this area, which allows us to create some of each of the 3 products that we basically offer here, which is the multi-story building in here, the walk-up flats, as we refer to them, and the townhouses. And it's almost a natural break somewhere down in through here to break the first phase. Second phase bringing us out probably to Hill Street, and the third phase being the remainder in this area and over to here.
My question is, when is the infill housing being addressed? You talked about the first 3 phases. When's the infill?
You need a showdown redevelopment agency, which we know that Flair is. There's an application process that has to be gone through for the funding involved in those projects. It's a process that will evolve. I know that through my involvement with Flair, they are always making applications for rounds of funding. And sometimes they're successful with it, sometimes they're not. I know those funding sources are very limited. So what might help is when the agencies that fund these types of projects see the redevelopment and the successes going on in this neighborhood, they will want to participate in it. And there's a process that they go through when they determine where the funds are deployed. And it's beyond our control. So I really can't answer them, but I will hopefully, for all of our benefits, soon.
My name is Jerry Johnson. I'm a member of Jordan River Missionary Baptist Church across the street. Church starts at 10 o'clock Sunday morning. But my question goes back to jobs. a lot of the young people in this community don't have the construction trade experience. So will there be any kind of training or apprenticeship so that'll be a bridge for those young people to get those jobs?
Right now, we just started a great program, pre-apprenticeship program for Buffalo Public School students who have recently graduated. It's like a bridge program. They are actually working at City Hall with a journeyman. They are shadowing them, learning soft skills, okay? This program is so great because after they complete it, in 8 to 10 weeks, they are a direct entry into that trade, okay? Which means that as long as they meet the criteria, that's passing that drug test, okay, passing maybe a simple basic math test, and having a driver's license, then they are a direct entry. This is how we're going to get our youth, our minority youth, in the union trade. So you're going to see a lot of them. Because the union trade halls, they are low. And they need to be filled with our minority kids.
Leroy and Congress Sims, and we just want to say from the bottom of our hearts that we appreciate, and Leroy and Congress were so integral and part of the managing and making sure it was a family-run business as always, and this was his family. And the best part of why we keep Funk Fest logo and for Buffalo is because when Rick wanted to get the best, he came home and he got the best. And we appreciate that. From the musicians to the people that sang, it was all about Buffalo. So this Funk Fest will always be about Buffalo.
My name's Carmen, I'm the oldest brother. All I want to say is thank you very much for attending and for making it such a peaceful, beautiful thing. You really honor our brother's memory and someone that you love very, very dearly. So all I want to say is thank you very much, and I love you all.
You know, years ago, when Rick and I were kids, I never thought I'd be standing here paying homage to my brother after having lost him, and he's been gone for 10 years. 10 years seems as though it's a long time, but it really isn't. It almost feels like yesterday. He's always in my heart, he's always in my mind, and Rick really loved Buffalo. And I know he loved all of you, and I know all of you love him because I get that feel every time I'm walking around talking with people. We have a strong family here, not only the Johnson family, but here's some of the members of our family. Most everybody is on this stage as at one time or another has played with us or done something with us. I thank from the bottom of my heart, Marnetta and Wade and all the security and all the people who have worked so hard for 10 years to make this a success and give you something special.
signs, thinking lies. Don't punish me with brutality. Come and talk to me so you can see what's going on. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. Yeah, I'm in the game.
Completes our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm here at the Funk Fest 2014 with all of my friends and family. They're going to help me close out the show. Don't forget, we are on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in LPCiminelli's Making It Happen. There you'll be able to view all of our past and current shows. Any comments, questions, suggestions, please, there's the number. Give us a call on our hotline. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time,